He does look pretty astute. And I mean, look at what we're used to. The bar is not too high, but he sat there and he took it and he stood his ground and he sounded fairly intelligent. You know, he did backtrack on everything that he campaigned on in this one meeting. But that
I don't know if
matter.
we had a Canadian election. Some people aren't too happy about
We
the
haven't talked about
progress,
the
but
election.
no, I'm just saying I'm fast forwarding here.
I feel
And
like
now
we're
our Prime Minister, Mark
rewinding.
Carney, has been meeting with President Trump. Well, he
Yeah.
had a meeting with President Trump.
Yeah, he should have had
It's
a dog collar on him and a leash, you know?
but it's so funny because if you actually watch different social media clips on that
Oh, some people
on
thought
that
he was
interview, there's
brilliant.
exactly. So
Yeah.
there's the whole like the people who are upset that he won and they released their versions of the interview and their commentary, and then you've got the people who were happy that he won and he looked like he was brilliant.
I don't think he didn't look good, actually. What you know what's pissing me off, and hopefully this comes across the right way, but uh, if you don't know all the stuff in the background, which may or may not be factual. I mean, I think it's factual, but it may not be, right?
May
So
not be.
assuming that you don't watch the stuff that I do, um, he does look pretty astute. And I mean, look at what we're used to. I mean, so the bar is not too high, but he sat there and he took it and he stood his ground and he's
Yeah.
sounded fairly intelligent, you know. He
Yep.
did backtrack on everything that he campaigned on in this one meeting, but
Well,
that
I don't know if
doesn't
he
matter.
backtracked, but he definitely. It depends on which ones you watch, which clips you watch. But I don't think he had as much of a strong sort of stance on certain things as he could have.
Sorry to interrupt, but this is your opportunity to subscribe. And if you don't, then TK will come to your house and kick your ass to Shanghai.
That's all alleged. This is not a threat. Please subscribe.
Well, I think Trump was enemy number one, and we didn't need the states, and we were gonna elbows up, and then he got there and all I heard was a bunch of slurping, right?
Yeah,
Oh, what
I
a
think Trump's a powerful personality, and so one on one like that, I don't think many people are able to stand next to him and stand up for themselves in front of him. That's the truth. Like that's why Trump's been a good
oh,
businessman.
imagine how
He's got this
scary.
overpowering type of personality. He's condescending. His ego is the size of whatever room he's in.
Yeah.
And so I think it is a challenge. I don't think any like many businessmen or politicians, for that matter, are going to stand up to him as well. So it's really just about what you actually do. To me, how you interact with him face to face isn't as important as the actions you take with your policies and negotiating with him in the actual negotiations, you know?
Yeah, well, I don't even know what it didn't sound like we were really negotiating anything. Trump was like, we don't need anything from you. So what's the negotiation?
It's a posture. It's for him to show
Little
everybody,
posture.
here's my little dog, here's my little stick, and here I am wagging it, you know?
Here I'm wagging it. Well, I mean, Carney did mention that we are one of the biggest, if not the biggest customer of theirs. So
Yeah.
there's that. I don't know. Is that factual? Are we in fact the
Yeah.
biggest customer?
70%.
Really? Of what?
Yeah. Of their 70% of our exports go to them. 66% of theirs. Let me get those numbers right. But it's a big number.
That of their stuff comes here. What is
Yeah.
their stuff exactly? Like what does the states make nowadays? What
Well,
are
I
we
mean, all
getting
those
from them?
automotive parts that he's protecting, Daryl, are all coming from. Where do
I
you think
thought
their number one
I thought they're coming
vehicle
from
customer is?
Magna. Magna. They're coming
Those are
from
just small
Magna.
parts, but the
Parts.
manufacturer of the vehicles are coming from the States, and then we buy the same things they buy from us. We're still buying lumber, we're still buying
We buy lumber from
aluminum and
them.
steel.
We buy
Absolutely.
oil and
I think,
steel. It
yeah,
seems redundant, doesn't it? That we buy the same stuff from each other. I
yeah.
guess
It
it's
depends on
different
it depends on
grades,
the exactly. It depends on the timing. It depends on the
different
infrastructure. It depends
levels.
on the transit routes. There's a lot of
So
stuff. Like there's a thing that where you have a port, on the side of the eastern side of the United States, where if you want to drive something to Quebec, let's say, you'll bring it into the port. This would be on the southern or on the eastern coast, maybe Maine, something like that. And then instead of taking it by ship, across in order to be able to deliver it to wherever you need to go in Canada. You get it off the boat and you stick it on a train and you get it to Canada that way because it's a lot faster, especially if you've got something like produce, bananas, or things that are coming in that are going to be um, perishable, right? And so you're going to have certain transit routes like that it's going to be like it's much cheaper and efficient to send this there and to send that there, and sometimes it might be crossing a border. So
I don't know what the hell you're talking about right now.
what do you mean? So we were asking me why steel or why different products go back and
Oh,
forth. So
but
there's
steel
transit
is
routes that
different
make
than
sense.
vegetables. I mean, vegetables
But it could be
perishable.
cost. Well, it could just be cost. It could just be cost. It could be simpler for them. The route from here to there is a much more cost-effective route than it would be sending it all the way to freaking Manitoba.
This all seems kind of crazy. I mean, steel should be steel and oil should be oil, but I guess that's not the case. It's all different kinds of stuff, and everybody needs all different kinds of different stuff. Well, do you feel like you're paying more for stuff because of tariffs right now? Do you feel like tariffs have affected you? Do you know anybody who's paid a tariff yet?
So there's a fact check here. So let's just do that first.
On what?
Is Well, this
Your
is
percentages there?
Mark Carney. No, yeah, what we just did. So I looked at it from Canada. U.S. is Canada's 70% of our exports go to U.S., but I never looked at what the U.S. would have been. And so they did a little fact checker, and that Canada is actually America's second largest trading partner, but number one export market. So in the first quarters of 2024, only Mexico beat Canada.
Buying stuff
One.
from the States?
So, second largest trading partner to the U.S. Total trade dollars is less, but Canada remains the most important hub for U.S. exports. So, buying stuff, it's Canada, but overall trading partner, it's Mexico. And it's a lot of good, a lot of billions of dollars worth of goods here, right? In total, you've got almost $700 billion exports alone. You're 250 billion, which is what Trump's been bragging about. But it looks like it's only like 16% of exports. So, I figured Carney should have known that. Like that would be a pretty important point to be making when you're negotiating with the president of the United States. You know what I mean? Like
I
if
thought he
somebody,
said.
Paulie ever would have had that number. He was really good at memorizing numbers. If you watch the Jordan Peterson interview with him, he's very good at like understanding. Like he was just like calling off the percentages and stuff like that. Like
I don't think it
that kind of stuff.
matters anymore. I think people can just say whatever the fuck they
You
want
can
right
say
now.
whatever
It's
you
just like,
want.
yeah, hey, we're the biggest customer and we don't need you either for anything.
Yeah.
We'll just,
Yeah.
that's it.